Hello, everyone, and you are welcome back to another exciting session with adapting education. So, today's session is about microorganisms, friend or foe, and it is a chapter in Class 8 Science Biology. Alright, so before we dive into the academics and all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Natanya, and I lead the session videos from Adapting Education. So, alright, let's get started. Yes. So let's look at the session plan, whatever we are going to do. So the to-do list includes introduction to microorganisms, microbes in humans, harmful microorganism, friendly microorganism, food preservation, nitrogen fixation, and nitrogen cycle. So this is going to consist of 3 to 4 sessions as we have to keep the videos crisp and short for you and maintain your interest. So for this video, we are just going to see the introduction to microorganisms, where are they found, and two types of microorganisms. Well, the ones which we're going to focus on are five in this whole session of microorganisms, but today we are going to focus on two. So everything sorted, clear, cool. Let's get started. So first, there's an activity for you guys. Okay, so just day before yesterday, I was there walking with my friends in the park. So one of our friends said that you run a YouTube channel called Adapting Education, and I said yes, I do. So she said, then I have a question for you. I said okay. She said, it's a tricky one. Let me tell you. So you need to find all the organisms in the view, and the view was the park. So here you can refer to this image for the park, and I was unable to complete my list. So the organisms which I could find were a tree, children, grass, plants, soil, air, right? So now you need to help me. Now you need to help me find one more important one. Yes, you are correct. That's already what I've told you the name of our chapter, microorganisms. So, okay, so in my list I'll add microorganisms. Alright. Hmm. Cool, guys. Thank you for helping me out. Alright, so let's move on. What are microorganisms? So, microorganisms, the bookish language, says that microorganisms are the organisms which are not visible through naked eye. As the name suggests, microorganism stands for small organisms or microscopic organisms. So let's make it simple. Alright. So microorganism. Let's see the meaning of it line by line. So microorganisms are the organisms which are not visible through naked eye. Means that you can't have a look at them with your naked eyes or eyes. Okay. You need microscope or something for them. And as the name suggests, microorganisms stands for small organisms or microscopic organisms. Alright, so micro means small and organisms means organisms. Right, so let's move on. Where are microorganisms? So here I didn't meant to scare you with all these creepy pictures. So these are just images of microorganisms. So they look like this, aren't scary? And especially this one, so crampy, creepy one. Alright, so let's see. Well, you would be not so surprised to see the microorganisms are found on the soil, on the road, on the water droplet, in the trees, in the burger, fries, in the cold drink you drink and meat, in the mountains where mountaineers visit, and even in you. Thus, we can conclude that microorganisms are found everywhere, right? So they're found everywhere. Now let's see the clear where they found. Yes. So now let's see the types of microorganisms. So here are the four types of microorganisms: bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae. So I guess you must have heard the terms bacteria and fungi quite often. Protozoa and algae can be new to you, but many people who live in damp places and all, they must be knowing algae too. The green thing which comes in the soil. Yes. So, but now, if you even know a bit of information about these microorganisms, then it's very good. So, can you please tell me which microorganism is missing over here right now? Pause the video and write it down in the comment section. Okay, so I hope you have written, and if you have, then I really appreciate that because this makes the session interactive. So let's see. I'll tell you. There's one more which is mixing in this, and that is virus. And we are all stuck at home because of this coronavirus. So that is also kind of a virus. Alright. So let's get started. So let's move on. Okay, so first we know about bacteria. Alright. So as I showed you in the images, these are bacteria. Okay, a few of these. Yeah, so these are bacteria. And even here you saw bacteria. Right. So what how can we define bacteria? So bacteria is a single celled organism. That means it is unicellular. So I'll add it here. That means that it is unicellular. Alright. So and guys is an important information. So I think that I must be sharing these PPTs with you. So at the end of every session, like not a session like this, but when we complete the whole chapter, I'll be sharing the PPTs with you so you can refer to them as they can be a help for you, right? So if you find this idea to be helpful, you can write it down in the comment section and I'll figure it out through there. Okay. So yes, so single cell is unicellular. Next, they may be found in colonies. So they can live in colonies. They can be spherical, rod, or spiral shaped. Okay, so let's see if I can show it to you. Um, Anyways, so you understand by the term spherical. So spherical can be like they are round in shape. Okay, so rod is they can be cylindrical in shape like this. All right, they can be cylindrical or rod, or they can be spiral, just like a spring. Okay, so an example of bacteria can be cyanobacteria. So from all these points, how do we construct an answer? Well, it can be bacteria are single-celled and microscopic organisms. They can be dangerous as they can cause diseases like pneumonia. They can also be useful as they help in fermentation. So this in this I've included their usefulness and harmfulness also, but you can even add, or you can frame your answer to be bacteria is a single-celled and microscopic organisms. Sometimes they can also be found in colonies and are also found in different colors and shapes. For example, spherical, rod, or spiral. And an example of a bacteria can be cyanobacteria. That's it, right? And you can And if you want to increase your word limit, then you can use these: harmfulness and usefulness of bacteria. So starting from there till fermentation. Alright. Next, fungi. So bacteria is one of the microorganisms. The next one is fungi. So chlorophyll is absent in fungi. They are saprophytic, means dead or decaying. Okay, or they can also be parasitic, means they live on a host. So very famous example of fungi are yeast and mushroom. So we eat fungi and we use fungi for baking also, right? So what can be a proper this? So you can say fungi are classified as eukaryotic. So what does eukaryotic mean? So eukaryotic means that are uh, they have so eukaryotes are organisms basically who cell have a nucleus within a nuclear envelope. All right, so we'll get to know this much better when we see the chapter cells types, cells functions, and all. Okay, so basically eukaryote is any cell or organism that possesses a clearly defined nucleus. That's it. Okay, so the next is non-phototrophic. The term is non-phototrophic. So what does that mean? Any idea? Okay, so having a tendency to move in response to light. Here is an hint for you. All right. So any animal or microorganism that is positively phototrophic will move towards light, and the one which is negatively phototrophic will move away from light. As simple as that. So by non-phototrophic, we mean that the organism moves like not it doesn't move towards the light. All right. Next, they can be seen in forms of yeasts, molds, and most common mushrooms. All right. Hmm. So this is it for today's session. It has to be continued. So keep up the